What's up, dude? Say hi. Ooh, say hi. Oh, hello. What's good, y'all? It's your boy Ali, and I might be pumping out two album reviews for you guys today, but definitely the one that I'm doing right now. So what brought me to an Eminem album, especially one that's not new. Like I might get to his one, the Coupe de Gras one, the most recent one, but I don't know. I've been listening to a lot of Eminem recently just because one of his instrumentals. I mean, he has a lot of instrumentals across his discography that I really like, and I like to write to some of the instrumentals to it. Same with like some of old Biggie's old instrumentals and stuff too. It's just really inspiring. But you know, there's a lot of discourse around Eminem, especially how he kind of took an L and like kind of flopped on one of his albums, and that's Revival. So I actually have it pulled up here, and I'm just gonna do my usual kind of thing with reviewing, and then just going back and adding all the scores I put for all the songs, 1 through 10, average of all of them, and that's my score for the album. So I really just want to see for myself. I haven't given it a full listen ever before, and I'm pretty sure like all of his other albums I've listened to, just because of the outside reception sometimes will like draw you away from something, but maybe I'll like it. Because he's like a great lyricist. He's a great lyricist, hands down. Um, when he wants to be, that is. I'd say probably that asterisk there. Asterisk. Asterisk. I don't know. I don't know if anybody else goes through this, but does anybody else like get really self-conscious when they're talking with headphones on and their own like hearing is a little muffled? Like I just feel like I sound like shit when I have my headphones on. So now I sound normal again. I'm gonna get started here, and not much else to it. Let's get it. All right, track one. I've definitely heard this hook before with Beyonce. Let's get it. What? Okay. Um. All right. So what I can say about that one was that it was oh man. So sometimes I feel like Eminem can be an overthinker. He talks a lot about his own like thought processes in his music a lot. And I know this was kind of like the culmination of him kind of beating his drug addictions and everything. And there was a three-part like album cycle. It was Recovery was in the middle of it. I forget the name of it. Relapse, Recovery, and now Revival is supposed to be the third one. So um I don't know. I just feel like it's gonna be a very self-reflective album, which is probably a good thing, like for Eminem especially. I did feel like it was a little dramatic and a little like, it's just like, I don't know, man. It was a little, I don't know. I can't judge it too harshly. It's like just the opening, and that's if that's the tone setter. That's my thing. If that's the tone setter, um, I don't know, man. Not the usual M I hear to start an album, right? So I'm feeling like a good seven though, to be honest on that, because Beyonce's hook was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? The way she kind of did it more powerfully as it went on, especially by the last one, you could hear like the Jesse Reyes, another singer he likes to work with, does that too. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's just like a strong woman vibes. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with it. Okay, let's move on to track number two, Believe. Okay, oh, that song was not good. I almost skipped it to be honest, but out of respect, because skipping a song means I have to give it a 0 out of 10, and that hurts a score for an album a lot. And so I feel like it's kind of unfair unless I'm just like actually pissed at the song, you know what I mean? So it wasn't that bad, but this does not sound anything like old Eminem or even, like 2020s Eminem, you know what I'm saying? I feel like this is the lowest point, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, he's kind of even admitted that on Kamikaze, the album he came out with next. So I mean, bro, he's just very in his head, bro. Like he has to prove himself so much, and like A lot of this song was just like wordplay and stuff. I don't know, man. I like his flows a lot. I don't really go for the wordplay and like the similes as much. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Dude, this one's getting like a 2 or 3 though. I can't lie. I'll give it a 3 just to be nice. Let's immediately move on and not talk too much more about that one because I don't have anything nice to say. Track number 3. Oh God, bro, that one wasn't much better to be honest. I didn't really enjoy that one any better than the last one. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know, bro. Still feel like he's in his own head so much that like it's distracting him from just like rapping normally. You know what I'm saying? Like this was probably the point where people said he should start like retiring, but I'm honestly glad he didn't because he's still come out with like good music. He has a couple of songs I like from Music to Be Murdered By and even the latest album, but uh that one was kind of a hard listen, bro. I wanted to skip it too, to be honest. But again, like I'm just gonna try not to do that. I'm giving that a 3 too, because it's like I need to be more impressed, bro. It's Eminem we're talking about, you know what I mean? So it wasn't very impressive, to be honest. Like nothing, I didn't feel it. Like I wasn't feeling it that much, to be honest. But we're gonna keep going. This is track 4, I think we're on now. Untouchable. Let's get it. Oh God. Okay, bro. Bro, I don't know. I just get this gut feeling on this song that like, first of all, the hook was fucking terrible. I almost skipped it just off the hook. God awful. Like the hooks have been really bad. Just being honest, you know, like when he has good hooks, I'll let you know. But I just get this gut feeling that he bit off more than he could chew with this song. Like whenever Eminem gets political, it seems to fucking, you know, he seems to shoot himself in the foot because like, I don't know, just the approach he had with it is just like, what do you, I mean, he even said in the songs like, what the fuck am I to do, you know? So it's like ranting on a song about it without really offering any like, well, I guess here's a solution I could actually, something I could have, you know, taken away from that is like, okay, if, you know, the politicians, if they actually had a problem with like high crime areas and also if they really, you know, the government wanted to change the police, you know, standards, it'd be, you know, don't go patrolling these areas, you know, if you don't fully know what goes on there and have kind of seen it some way, somehow firsthand. But that's a lot to ask for, kind of, right? Unless you have like the community activists who step up and then join the police force to stop that own crime. Like that's kind of a niche way to handle it. But yeah, making that the standard for all police officers and just having there be, you know, for like the George Floyd incident. Well, I don't know, man. I don't know what happened to the officers, whether he was like suspended, fired, or what. Got to do more research, but I don't know, man. It just, I get what he was trying to do, and like he had some valid points, but it kind of sucked the fact that he didn't have any like black artists to like support him or like have anything to say too. It's almost like, I don't know. I get that you're Eminem and like the biggest white guy in hip hop, but that doesn't necessarily mean like if you're gonna speak on it, like you gotta say something of real substance. At least have an impact on me. Like that's how I'm judging it. Just like on me, that song didn't have too much of an impact because it's coming from Eminem, bro, and like he just raps about usually like crazy shit. So if this isn't usual for him, like I mean in his ciphers, and I remember during his Super Bowl performance where he did Lose Yourself, I think that was also the one where Snoop Dogg and 50 Cent were in it, and he did like the Kaepernick like kneeling down and like, putting his fist up, which is cool. I mean, I'm sure that was great for the culture. Um, so just because like I appreciate the message behind it, I'm gonna give that one a 5. The hook though is the reason why it's not any higher than that. Like I could have given it a 6 maybe if the hook was more listenable. But it was like like the standard we're setting here. Like it makes complete sense so far why this album got shit on, to be honest. All right, so I think this was the highest streaming song in the album. So let's see if it's good. Track number, how far are we? 6. All right, number 5, bro. We got a long time to go. Fuck. Uh, holy shit! I didn't expect that ending, bro. The abortion ending. That shit's crazy. I kind of see now that song only has that many streams, probably just for Ed Sheeran's hook, because that was a damn good hook. He could have just took that and run with it, made it just his own song out of it. Probably got a billion streams, but yeah, bro. I don't know, man. It's like, while you're still talking about something, it might be something even serious. It's just like, I don't know, bro. It's hard to take serious. I'm having trouble quantifying that, but it's hard to take that serious, bro, because it feels like he's taking himself. I mean, I don't know. Like, this is a serious topic, so it makes sense for him to be serious, but it doesn't make as much sense for him to be aggressive. And at the end, just like softly be like, "I'm sorry, I fucked up." like no, bro. Like, I don't know. It seems like, if this is supposed to be the trilogy of that like 3-album cycle, Relapse, Recovery, it's almost like these are songs that don't belong on an album called Revival, if that's their theme, because it sounds like you haven't made it to where you want to make it yet. Like you haven't buried all your skeletons, you have not made peace with like anything. You're making peace on it now, but realistically, logically, to me, it would go that you're burying your soul like in this way on Recovery and Relapse. Probably Recovery, because this is not like drug talk. This isn't like drug addiction talk. This is more just like life issues, the people I'm messing with, having a sex addiction, whatnot. Girls, he always has a problem with like the women in his life, which is, his own business. But regardless, the song, I mean, it's honestly like a 4 or 5 too. It's probably a 4. It's kind of what I thought the whole time. So I'm just thinking about like the number. Basically I started at like a 10, and then like as the song goes, it'll either stay there. Very rarely does it stay there. It's hard to find a 10 out of 10 song, to be honest. But that's what we're here for. We're trying to find those 10 out of 10s. You know what I'm saying? All right. Let's keep going to track number 6. Well, this is just a skit, so honestly, I gotta include it still, but fuck it. I think I'm gonna wait to rank that little 26 seconds because it was the intro of this song, so I'll probably just rate them together. I think I can give them different ratings. I'll tell you why in a second. Let's listen to the track 7. Okay. Oh, that song was fucking annoying. So that one's getting a 0, as well as the intro skit, because he has to know that, bro, I've been nice long enough, bro. It's time to impress me, Eminem. Let's go on to track number 8, Revival Interlude. Oh, it's just an interlude, but I'm gonna rank it anyway. Okay, nice little singing. I don't know who that was, but it gets a 5. Track number 9, Like Home. Let's get it. Okay. Good hooks by Alicia Keys. Love Alicia Keys. Something I got reminded of at the big, like during this song, was the end of the first song. He's like, I deserve respect because I wrote Stan. Like, respect the lyricism, but like, oh, I don't know. Some of these songs are really hard to get through without skipping, bro. Or at least skipping ahead a little bit, because like, the rant. It's almost like a Kanye rant when you know what the entire thing is gonna be about. but you really don't care about it in the first, well, about the subject matter in the first place. So you really just gotta subject yourself to like listening to it, just because you're interested to hear if he'll say anything new or interesting. I was not impressed. I was a little. I'm a little like, I know this album got shit on already, bro. I'm not here just to like follow in those footsteps. I'm giving it the most fair chance I can, to be honest. But this shit is really not that good. Uh, like that one, the hook saves it, makes it listenable. Like, also for a man who's like known for his diss tracks, and like he's good at like dissing people. Like, I feel like every time he talks about Trump or like anything political per se, it either like it seems to kind of fall on deaf ears, or it's like a little cringy, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just almost like you're out of your depth, bro. Like, we get you have a lot of influence, but hip hop influence is very, I don't know, specific, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not necessarily, hip hop has never really stood for, I don't know, like, I guess it can be politics in this, like, the way I'm thinking about it in my head makes sense, but I can barely like get it out in a logical way. So I'm just gonna give that one honestly like a 3 as well, because it's just how I felt about it, bro. It was not that much redeeming about it. It's like I'm not gonna let somebody else's hook on your song. It's not gonna make me. It's not gonna save it for me, because I'm not gonna come back to it, because I know that the verses in between the hooks are kind of like, I don't know. They aren't nothing burgers, but it's just not that impressive to me, bro. Like, usually I listen to Eminem because he has impressive flows and wordplay. You know what I'm saying? And I think Eminem does the best when he's actually angry about something, like when it's something personal to him. But I think that's where the mark is getting missed here, is because for me is because he's talking about something that like, if you're already rich and successful, you're not really going to be phased by the shit that like the government does, besides like taking taxes from you or something. But I don't know, man. I don't know. But I think we should just move on. I don't know how much service to this I'm doing by even over explaining it. Track 10, Bad Husband. Let's go. Okay, so this, I see exactly what I was saying before about when Eminem is talking about something personal to him, it's a lot more heartfelt and it's a lot more real, and it's coming from it's coming from the soul. So this one I liked pretty much the best of all of them so far. I know I rated the first track a 7, but um, this one I liked the most. It wasn't like, the one thing I didn't like is he admitted to abusing, like hit punching Kim, his ex. But I can't say I've ever hit a girl. I'm never going to. But we have to learn our mistakes at some point in life. You know what I'm saying? And who knows what the specifics were that went into that situation. It's like, okay, she punched you once, and it started a pattern of abuse and stuff. Because it's like, I don't know, again, bro. It just seems like his life, it's a crazy life, right? Like, from his upbringing and stuff, from what I know and everything, it was like chaotic. Because it's like, in Mockingbird, he actually pictures it really well. He's like, I just became so successful while, he's talking to Haley, and he's like, your mom was so, I don't know, she was like strung out or whatever, and I guess she went to jail once. Um, so like, the dynamic definitely makes sense for him, because he's just like, he was, from one end of the spectrum to the other, in terms of like coming from poverty, and you're like in 8 Mile kind of sections of Detroit. So I don't know, man. That was definitely the most heartfelt like song, that I felt like came out of this album so far. So for that reason, that helps it. I'm gonna give it like a 6 though. I don't know still if I liked it as much as the opener. The hook on the opener, because of Beyonce, it was made the song actually like good enough to probably come back to. Even the Ed Sheeran one, I probably wouldn't even come back to be honest, because like Ed's cool, but I literally, there's another song, It's Remember the Name with 50 Cent and Eminem. I'm like, that's the only feature that he really had to give Eminem, because like this one, it wasn't nearly as good. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Let's just move on to track number 11, Tragic Endings. Let's go. Bro, oh my god. This is just becoming a drag now, honestly, to get through the album. I can't find too much redeeming about that shit, bro. Honestly, bro, like I want to just give him a quick rating and move on at this point because I'm so done with this album, bro. Like, okay, I understand. Like, I fully understand now why people shit on this so bad, why he regretted it. Bro, because, I mean, just look at it, bro. Look what you submitted. Look what you turned in, bro, to the mainstream, and you're, like, one of the top-selling artists, bro. And, like, it's cool to be vulnerable and, like, say you're a doubter, pessimistic, and insecure and stuff, but, bro, it just seems like you have this, like, shell of, like, you cannot go that extra step to, like, actually come down here to earth and actually be vulnerable. I don't feel you if you're not, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like it's almost like incel rap. If it sounds a little bit like that, and I'm pretty sure. So I did watch, like, years ago when this came out, and I only watched the Anthony Fantano review of it. I'm finding myself saying a lot of the things I'm trying not to, because I'm like, anytime something comes up and I'll remember he said, like, simile game is trash. The production is shitty. I haven't mentioned that yet, but dude, sometimes like the way he fades in and out, it just doesn't sound as professional as usual. Also being over dramatic, and also like the whole part about like spousal issues and everything, like marriage problems and everything, like how man, how this guy got so big without, like, I don't know, maybe these were all kind of secrets kept, or maybe, I mean, it was all kind of talked about in his career. My thing is, it's like he's just trying to find new ways to make the same kind of songs about like girl problems and stuff, when the classics to me that he has are with like Rihanna, the like Letting the Fire On, but whatever the song was, Love the Way You Lie, and Monster. Monster wasn't as much about like a love song, but Love the Way You Lie is like, bro, if you have a song that's that good, talking about the struggles and stuff, and about like how you guys go at each other instead of kind of like building together, why is there a need for you to make a song about it on every single album, unless you're kind of just like cycling through, like, you might have a type of woman that you think you like, bro, and you don't have to change because eventually the right one will come along, but it sounds like that's what he's doing without like realizing, hey, maybe I just need to like find a chick who's like actually down to earth, is not gonna try to like fuck me over. Like, maybe that's what he's trying to do, and it's just he's too famous and he's not able to. I don't know the man, you know what I'm saying, personally, but it's whew, like, I can't lie, bro. It's like none of this is really that moving to me, because like it's like, I don't know, if I was his buddy and I listened to this song, I'd be like, bro, he really want to release this? Like, I don't know. It's not like embarrassing per se, the content, but if you can't make a good song out of it anymore, bro, like, why even try, is my thing. So for that reason, bro, this one gets a low rating, because I'm kind of, first of all, getting tired of the album dragging on and on. Like, he'll spend 4 minutes talking about something that could be condensed to like 3 sentences. So that's kind of my issue, bro, because he wants to make, like, he wants to pack it with this wordplay, but it's like unnecessary, you know. Unnecessary, probably a lot of this is unnecessary, is what I have to say, you know. Unfortunately, call it disrespectful, bro, just one man's opinion. That one gets a 3, and I'm moving on. Track number 12 is called Framed. All right, let's get it, bro. Oh, I kind of wanted to skip that one too, honestly, but I gave it a chance, gave it a full chance. I'm surprised I didn't listen to this at the time, because like I've always been a pretty big Eminem fan, and I'll like listen when he drops, but I really think it was just because of the really bad like reception of it. You know, sometimes hold up, I'm gonna go calling me. Hello. Hello? Let me, yeah, sorry, I got a phone call. Let me just remind myself. Oh my god, that song was not good. Framed? I just feel like I don't know, man. he's trying to get into his old bag. I can definitely tell he's trying to get into his old bag with that song, with just like the hook and everything is being kind of like zany and stuff. But I think it's been largely agreed that like Eminem sober and off drugs is a lot less actually zany and like wild as Eminem on drugs. And it's like you can't fake something like that, necessarily. Like you can fake crazy a little bit, but like actually, I don't know. It wasn't, I don't know, man. It just wasn't that. You know what? I'm wasting too much time just trying to explain why these are bad. And I think I'm just gonna start letting the numbers do the talking, bro, because look at this track history so far of this album, bro. I think we just have to get through it. There's still 7 tracks left, bro. Hopefully there's another skit in there so it goes by faster, because I'm honestly like so done with this album. But I chose to sit down with it, so I'm gonna give it a full listen anyway. Here we go. Track 13, Nowhere Fast. Ooh, Kehlani, I like Kehlani. Alright, that one was, a couple things about the instrumentals, okay, now, that I gotta mention. This one in particular, it had this, the beginning of the hook, it was very, distracting from Kehlani's hook. It was like the sound of it was hi-hats in the middle, but there was a little, like, off key, or, just placed in between where I feel like they should have been. So it just sounded like somebody, like when you start a gas stove and it goes tick, 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 like that's what it sounded like just in the middle of it for no reason. I could have done without it. Probably would have sounded more like beautiful for that hook. But other thing about the instrumentals, bro, why is he choosing? I'm trying to imagine like just sitting down with these instrumentals, no words. And I'm like, why are these beats like? Some of these beats you'd see in like this one, for example. Like it belongs in like a Superman soundtrack, or something. It's like, why are you trying to save the world? Like you're going into it with these expectations, and it's like, okay, cool, you're making a motivational, uplifting song, but bro, like the delivery again, his delivery was very choppy, and it's kind of hard to digest what he's saying. Even when I have the lyrics up, bro, it's like you have to. It's like he's making it way more complicated than it actually has to be, and I think that's why he had such an issue with people saying they didn't understand it, or just saying like the message fell on his face and things like that. Like that's what the kind of reception I was seeing publicly, and bro, like maybe he has taken the time since to reflect on this, but he's just missing the mark on like what if he used to do, for example, to make a song stick, or make something like basically every song he made in like the first like I can't say every song, but he had hits, every single album, and so far on this one there hasn't even been a performance for him yet to be like a contender. I couldn't really name you any of the most like impactful lines of his like when I usually could, just because it seems like also the subject matter from song to song, like it seems a little inconsistent. Like he went from I don't know, it just seems like he's talking about all the problems in the entire world right now, or like in America, which I understand the concept of, but like what are you going to be the solution, or are you just going to be the number one selling artist in hip hop that's voicing the complaints, like for what basically? And that's why I was saying it's unnecessary. That's all I'm going to say about that one. I think I didn't rate it yet though, so I'm gonna give that one like a. Oh, the message was pretty. It was like motivational and stuff, but bro, I'm not gonna go back to it ever again. Like ever again, you know what I'm saying? None of this album, to be honest. Like I'm not really feeling like I missed out on anything by not listening to this album before, and that's kind of heartbreaking as like someone who respects him as a lyricist, and the fact that he fights for hip hop even when it might be doing great, like it's alive and well, always has been, but people say it's like falling off because of the type of music and stuff. It's not like, it's no longer a motivational kind of like street rap, and like how it started, right? And bro, I feel like in this album even he's kind of getting away from that, but he's on the right track with like the subjects in a sense, kind of, but I'm gonna give it that a 3 again. Like, it doesn't feel good to be rating these that low. But bro, like, I gotta be honest. I'm not gonna really hold back, to be honest, because I have heard so much better. So it really is that the expectations are there. Um, you know, because if you, I don't know. I wonder how he felt about this when he released it. I wonder if he felt like it was his best work, if he was nervous about the reception, and I just wonder how he took it the whole time. But that's, I guess, just like outside of the whole review, you know? All right, let's keep going. Track number 14, Heat, man. We're in the home stretch now. Let's get it. Oh, God. I mean, I just gave that one a chance, bro. That's the only reason I didn't skip it, but probably never want to hear it again. I don't know if that was like, I don't know what it was I didn't like about it, but one thought I had by the end of it was like, even if I was like 10 out of 10, like shit faced, I would probably not go out of my way to like listen to that song. And I don't really have much more to say about it, bro. It's like, and the other thing was, that was another big part of the Anthony Fantano review. I remember was him shitting on those similes, like saying Buns Asperger's line, and it's like, you know, just certain things. It's like, and then I just imagine him playing at a show, bro. I'm just like, are the fans like memorizing his lyrics to this shit, and like they're having a bunch of fun with it? Like, I don't know, dude. I wouldn't play this at a party. I wouldn't play this in the car by myself, just personally, bro. Like, so I don't know, man. I'm gonna give that one like a 2 because again, it was just unnecessary, bro. If anything, I think these songs are detracted from M's reputation and just kind of hip hop credibility, to be honest, bro. Because like the rapping isn't. How do I quantify that the rapping isn't good, bro? Like, I'm sure it's just well agreed upon, you know what I'm saying? Like, even I don't know how even Eminem like stans would feel. I'm not a stan by any means because I don't know, this seems like a little too desperate, a little too like he knows he has to turn the crowd up, and so like he'll kind of go into songs like screaming and yelling when he doesn't have to. Again, unnecessary, bro. I should just move on. Track number 15, Offended, bro. Last 5 tracks. Let's go. Uh hmm. This one felt like the most like Eminem rapping like he would otherwise, maybe on other albums. But again, bro, a lot of the lines were like very. It's hard to say corny with Eminem, but like at the same time, it's not, bro, because some of the stuff is like, you know, edgy and like shock value stuff, or like to get a laugh. You know what I'm saying? So these are just long listens, bro, for not that much payoff is a thing, bro. It's like I'm not getting any payoff out of this. Like, that was definitely a song just to remind us that I don't know, he can rap and stuff, bro. Like, I don't know. I'll give it a 3 though. Let's move on. Track number 16, bro. Need Me featuring Pink. Let's go. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I had to skip that one, bro, because completely unnecessary, bro. I didn't have to listen to honestly a mid Pink song in my opinion up to that point for about halfway through, almost 2 minutes of just like, man, are we listening to Pink now? Like, is this just like, uh, you know, I don't know, dude. That just, and he comes in with like, almost next to nothing impactful to say, bro. Like, if you're Eminem, like, there's just a responsibility, and it seems like either he's misunderstanding what people want to hear, or like what I don't know. Maybe this is all. I mean, he probably went out in this album like thinking it was a masterpiece, like releasing it. He probably thought it was like really good because of all these like great female artists he has singing the hooks, and like Ed Sheeran too. But bro, they're not gonna save you if they're not saying shit. Like, it's not that he's not saying shit, it's the way that he's saying it, his delivery. It's like, bro, if you have to step down your rap game to make a good point on like a song, like, I I don't know if you really, you can have your hits and everything. Like that might be the reason you go down as one of the greatest, because people say like old Eminem is just like unbeatable, which in a large part I would have to agree. Um, like these days when he says things like I may just be the greatest rapper of all time, as in like including before me, it's like no, bro. These guys had like they were so smooth with it. Like someone like Ice Cube, even like he would never sound like this on a track. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, and they were still so influential and still remembered with the same level, I think, of like, you know, respect as he is in the rap game and stuff. So, bro, I just think he's doing too much. He's entirely doing too much on this album, I think was like the big problem. I'll have final thoughts at the end, but let's get through these last three tracks in your head. Let's go. Okay, bro, I can't lie. I'm skipping that one too, because he just summed up exactly my sentiments leading up to this point. He basically just said that this album, Recovery, I guess wasn't received the best either or anything or something, because it's just like he's becoming a different person, and sometimes that will be met with like resistance. But he was saying like it should have been a good thing, and this album should feel like a victory lap, but instead I just think he was dealing with so much personally at this time that like you can't just get back to like, okay, this is what made me successful, let me just like do this and maybe talk about something different. He said instead like I'm about to relapse, and like that's going backwards physically or like, literally, and albums wise. um And bro, I just knew there was gonna be nothing really to gain from that song, bro. It was another one that had a beat that was a little too overdramatic for my liking, bro. Even for Eminem, even for an Eminem song, bro. Um, and then the zombie, like interpolation for the hook, bro. Like, what was the other one? The I Love Rock and Roll. He did like a sample of that, and bro, like Drake got a lot of shit for doing that one Circo Loco um, song where he like sampled a Daft Punk track, and bro, like this is just as egregious to me, bro, because like those are good songs, and then I have to like when I think about them now, I'm gonna think about, bro, Eminem tried to do a song with this, and like it was so bad I had to skip it, so it doesn't do it doesn't do a lot of service to him in my book of like, especially how he's gonna go down from like, the good news is he has so much good music out there that like I can just forget this and just kind of never come back to it, and I'll be fine, and my opinion of him is kind of just like a stain on his career basically, which I think every artist kind of comes to that point, like they have a moment where they are afraid of falling off, and so I think this is the closest that he got and probably will ever get. I don't think he's ever gonna like drop below this quality level again. Now, I don't want to eat my words, but I feel pretty confident that like he locked it back in after this, and he realized that it was like he needs to step up his game in a different way. And now like a lot of people just say like he likes to rap fast and everything, and that's the only thing like he really can do these days. But it's like I get it where he's coming from, because he's trying to bring all these different ways of like showing how versatile he is. Like he can rap at different speeds, he can do different voices like a Kendrick, or just like someone entertaining like MF Doom almost. Like it's almost like he'll play like he has a Slim Shady like character, and it's like a persona. So he has like this like system, and here I feel like is an instance where he came to a time in the world, a place in his career, and everything that like it's the system isn't working for him right now. At this point in time, and I'm talking like it's current. I know this is years ago, right? And he's come out with new stuff since, and pretty good stuff, honestly, which I'll probably review later. And I was gonna think about doing like an entire artist discography review or just a kind of a tier list again, but actually going through like on a live stream and listening to all of them. But I'll have you guys know, bro, these albums, especially if it's not that good or substantive, it's such a drag to get through a full studio length album, bro. I don't care who it is. Even some of my favorite albums of all time, bro. I'll skip a song or two because I'm like, this shit is too fucking long, bro. 19 songs of like, I don't know, dude. It's all been pretty. I mean, I haven't rated anything higher than a 7, and it's Eminem, bro. Let's just get through the last two, and then we can wrap it up. I'll check my time in recording after this, but it's longer than I should probably be listening to an album. Let's go. Castle. Okay. Bro, unfortunately, I'm skipping this song for 2 reasons. Again, it's too drawn out, bro. I need to listen to some good Eminem soon, or I'm gonna like just start shitting all over this thing. Because I have to just like stop the negativity in my head, just going through, and I feel bad for him, to be honest, bro. He's like, it's almost like he had to like remind himself how to rap, bro. I don't know what it was that he was going through at this time, bro. The other reason I skipped it is because I need to make it a message that I can't stand this flow that he does. And it's like later on Kamikaze, he'll complain that like he's tired of hearing these choppy flows that like the Migos have or something like that, or like some of these rappers. And I'm like, bro, throughout this entire fucking album, you are stopping and starting and stopping and starting. You're stopping in the middle of a line, and it's like, I just don't get the reason. It doesn't play well. It doesn't sound good. And like if you want, as an artist, bro, you gotta care about the fucking music. I think he cares way too much more about what he's saying, but he's not really saying shit that's like effective, because the delivery, it's like, bro, it's like listening to someone with Tourette's, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, no disrespect to anybody with Tourette's, but that's something I especially feel fine saying about Eminem, considering what he says about people. And so like, I'm just joking, but you know what I'm saying? Still though, like, shit is kind of annoying and grating to listen to, and it makes it hard to decipher what the fuck his message is, bro. If he's just said it clearly, line by line, like he does on some of my favorite songs, like Mockingbird, like Stan, bro, like those songs are actually really good. And I think it's because he took more time to sit down and think, like, how does this play as a song as well as a message, That's all I have to say about it. It's another 0. That is the 5th 0 that this album's got. And I went into it, I'm not even that surprised, bro, but I swear I'm just doing it like, I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest and doing what my heart feels on this, because that's how I went into how I do every album review. So if you don't like it, bro, leave a comment. Tell me why I'm wrong. I want to open it for discourse and like just at least read. I'm probably not going to engage in the comments, but I'm still interested to see what you guys have to say. Do you agree on these certain songs where I have these things to say? And like, if you do disagree, like why? And like, is it just for the simple fact it's Eminem and like he cannot be disrespected, or is it the fact that it's like there's something technical that I'm missing, there's something to be appreciated that I missed or something? Like, please let me know. You know what I'm saying? For anybody that likes this album, or even if you're just honest as well with it, like I'd like to open a discourse for every album that I react to. That's part of why I do it too, to see like, especially ones that I haven't seen other people review, see how other people kind of like relate to my perspective on it. Okay, last track, bro. I promise I won't skip this one just because I've skipped too many and I feel kind of bad, but I'll listen to this one through. I'll have patience for one more, but I hope it's good, bro. Last track, Arose. Let's get it. Okay. Oh god. Just personally, bro, I've never liked those songs where Eminem's like ranting like that, bro. I think Eminem is in his best bag and the most effective and like influential when he has this like kind of calm but also like it can be explosive too. Like, I don't know, even Rap God, I listened back to that, and like The Ringer was pretty good, but sometimes it's just like when you let anger show too much without like, just like there's being angry with aura, and then there's being angry with like that gets you into an aura dead because you're just coming across as like a fucking angry miserable person, bro. And it's like maybe during this time, like it seems like a lot of the themes on this one are just like, like a bunch of beautiful songs, like, like they're supposed to be songs that aren't necessarily even rapped over. It's like the singing goes really well with it, so that should tell you like it's kind of more sentimental kind of music. And talking about loss and death, like terrorism and losing his friends, uh, and then just like being there for his family, not repeating the mistakes that his family made against him. It's a heartfelt stuff, but again, for me, just the delivery, it's hard to really feel it. Plus, it's at the end of an album that just drained me for the better part of like 2 fucking hours. So I'm seriously just so done with it. I don't even really care. Obviously, that song didn't do too well anyway. Let's see how many like streams this all got. Like, cause I mean, bro, hold up. Oh, bro, so many fucking versions of that album. Okay. I didn't do bad, you know what I'm saying? I mean, honestly, on this, streaming, judging based off streams is like a slippery slope anyway. I'm just saying that I fully understand why people shat all over this album. It was worse to me than Chance the Rapper's The Big Day, because at least like, I don't know, that album was pretty fucking bad too, bro. But no, dude, I'm not comparing it to anything else. I can't compare numbers. I can't do anything like that. I'm just gonna focus on why this album was so shitty, bro. And like, I'm pretty sure I've covered everything already. Just to rehash, like, the beats were not really, didn't really feel like, this felt like the least Eminem type beats filled albums I've heard, and probably the least one. Uh, in other words, just the instrumentals didn't really match his usual vibe and his usual cadences and everything, and that, I think that's why he struggled a lot. Maybe he did this as like a challenge to himself to say like, hey, can I make like big anthemic songs that are actually impactful and like what I think is like these different flows that people are going to appreciate. But unfortunately, bro, if you do that for an entire album without putting one song that's just undeniably good, um obviously history shows that you're going to struggle, and he really did with this. Like this, I really think this is going to be go down as his lowest point in his career, and like the closest he came to of like people genuinely not really caring anymore. Because again, to circle back, to have 19 tracks where none of them people come away with and kind of unanimously are like, hey, we like this one, hey, this album was shitty, but like usually on a discourse they'll be like, hey, but what about this song? And it's like, I don't know, maybe, what did I give Chloroseptic, a 3? Man, like I don't even want to go back and listen to any of these to just hear them again and understand why I gave them the scores they did, because I'm probably gonna stand by each one. I gave this album, oh wait, I gotta rate this song first. I'll give it a 5 because it wasn't bad. Again, just a little over dramatic to me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I can see why people didn't like it. I'm glad it's over, and I don't think I'm ever gonna listen to it again now that I've given it a full listen and it's on my YouTube. Um, so I think I'm gonna do next. I was gonna play a song that I liked from Eminem at the end of this, but then I got to thinking like, bro, it's gonna get copyrighted, especially if I'm like kind of slandering this album through it. So I'm not gonna play any of his songs, but I will say like off the newest album, this one song, Antichrist. Hate the title, it sucks, but I see what he's doing. He's just like, he likes to joke around, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's cool. And he's back in his like Slim Shady persona and everything, and he was like fully leaning into it. And like a lot of people was saying that's a bad idea. Like I don't know if you guys are aware of Tyler the Creator and him's kind of beef, where Tyler's more so just saying like, hey, like this album is shitty. I think he was talking about this one, and then in an interview he's like, bro, it sucks to see an artist go back on what made them successful before, instead of like, I think the words he uses like getting into what you're like getting into what you like for real, which I understand. So he kind of did the opposite of that and literally did the exact opposite. Re-embrace like the Slim Shady thing, but I think he like the concept of the album was to kill off the Slim Shady character so that he can just be like kind of a regular man and kind of like, I don't know, not reintegrate into society, because he still said a lot of stuff on the album that's like pushing the edge of what's acceptable, like a lot of stuff Gen Z has to say, and LGBTQ stuff, and against like, I guess this whole Christopher Reeves thing, like making fun of a guy with a disability. I don't know what the whole beef is. I don't really care to know. I've always known that Eminem's career has been full of like unconventional beefs, and you know what I'm saying? Like, he really just comes at anybody who comes at him. So at the end of the day, like, I can kind of respect that. You can kind of walk away from that being like, hey, maybe I could take 1% of that into my own life, you know? But this album, like, while it might have said good things and like ways to carry yourself, you know, delivery kind of like bad throughout the entire thing. Like, there wasn't a flow that I even felt like rewinding. Like, you know, I listened to it all the way through, and if a song I like, man, especially if it's like a really good like 2 lines or something, usually got to rewind to either, especially if I don't have the lyrics up. The problem was, I think with this one I had the lyrics up, and like maybe if I didn't, some of it would like hit harder because you're like just hearing the audio and you have to decipher what he's saying, and maybe he was relying on that. I don't know what was going through his head, to be honest. But I'm gonna just quickly do my average, let you guys know what the final score is, and if I have any, you know, extra thoughts at the end. But bro, I gotta wrap this video up. Like, this has been a draining experience, but I chose to do it. You know, I wanted to go in and be like, hey, let me give this album a fair chance and see, is it, you know, is my perspective of it consistent with what kind of the public has said about it, so, and critics and stuff. So I'll be right back with y'all though. +0 +0 +0 +5. Oh god. Oh god. Okay, 54 divided by 19. Whoo! Wow. All right, hopefully you guys can see this. I'll make the text bigger too. Yeah, bro. That sounds about right, bro. See that? 2.84. That's probably by far my lowest rating of any album I've listened to. But then again, you know, I haven't gone out of my way to listen to an album that people kind of agreed was bad, so I'm not that surprised. You know, I didn't go into it just like expecting it to be this bad though, you know. I guess that's because of my predisposition to how good Eminem can be. And you know, the hard part is about this that kind of sucks overall is because it seemed like he tried so hard on it. It just seemed like so much effort went into it. Like, think about how much he like strains his voice to say all these things, and like to, I don't know, just, and probably have to perform it out after. It's like it's so much breath wasted, honestly, it feels like. And that's the part that's kind of sad, bro, because if you just take a little bit more time and really think about what you want to say before just being like, I have to say something about something, so let me just like get my thoughts out. And it's like it's the way he's been kind of carrying himself lately. It's where it's like almost like a manic person, bro. And so yeah, and he's been open about like he has to chill out as a person, not be so, I guess, I don't know, self-conscious about this shit, because that's a musician's worst nightmare, you know what I'm saying? Is to prevent themselves from literally just focusing on the music and just making the best songs they can and just turning it in, versus trying to prove yourself on every single album. I guess it's good to like continue proving yourself, but be really real with yourself. Like, did you actually improve from this album to that one, or did you just have more rants and more big features and more carrying power from the instrumentals and this feature list? You know what I mean? I can definitely name artists who do that openly. Eminem is someone who you would never expect to have these kind of like things be thrown out about. The other thing he's very proud of is that he writes his own raps. And it's like, bro, yes, we believe you on that, but that doesn't fucking mean they're good. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't mean everything you write is gonna be gold or platinum, you know, etc. So I think there has to be this level of humility when you're doing these things, and you know, hip hop is the most like ego-driven industry I think there is. So people are gonna have a hard shell against criticism and stuff like that, and sometimes like do things, lean even more into things that people say they don't like. And like sometimes I feel like when he started his career, it was all that. It was all basically being like a rebel without a cause type shit. And he was just like this crazy guy who just like was sharing his problems with the world, and like I don't give a fuck who hears it. And the music was good is a thing. That's the difference. You know what I'm saying? It's like maybe it's like some people say like, bro, Eminem should just be back on drugs because he did better music when he was. And it's like, no, we don't want that on anybody, you know? It shouldn't take that, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's plenty of people who don't do drugs, don't do alcohol, and like, I don't know about that actually, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it takes a little bit. Me, myself, bro, I'll smoke weed before I write usually, because it gets me in this creative zone. And like, you know, sometimes, or like with a drink, you know, just like to sip on like, you know, a cocktail or something, bro. But anyways, bro, like I feel bad even making this video almost, because it's like I didn't want to just shit on an album. I didn't go into like, okay, let me just get views by picking an Eminem album and shitting on it. Like I went into it just being like, hey, this is my honest first dive into this album. So anyways, I'm not going to continue being negative about it. After today, I'm just going to be like, hey, the album, I don't know, you know, people will agree it's probably not good. And again, I would love for you guys to share your thoughts on just where do you think I was wrong, or where do you think, like, what are your arguments for it and everything. Honestly, I just aim to push positivity anyway, and that's kind of why I feel like regretful. So I'm not going to be doing this in the future. Definitely not, because it's draining for me to listen to an album that is like, bro, why would I do that to myself, right? And I'm not doing this to be like a glorified movie critic. I'm not saying my score is what your score should be at all. I'm just saying maybe this will get somebody to listen to it for the first time too, and just to see kind of his progression from the start of his career to this point, as well as from this point to where he is now with these next few albums that he released and stuff. I don't know, there's the Kamikaze album, if anybody hasn't seen, or interview, yeah, the album, but there's an interview that he did with Sway from Shade 45 that is, he kind of goes in depth a little bit about just his older music, and especially I think Relapse era, when he talked about he was doing like accents and stuff that he thought was like cringe and horrible. He started this album off by saying like he's tired of making music that's cringe and horrible, bro. But like, you know what I mean? But yeah, bro, 2.84. Never gonna listen to this album again. You know, it's okay. Eminem, we still love you, bro. We still have faith in you to make good music. Pressure makes diamonds, right? And so I think I'm the same way. So I really appreciate somebody who's the same way, and kind of like being able to pick their brain from a distance, because it shows you what works for them and what doesn't. Because literally his career depends on what he's saying in these tracks. So the more that he's able to reinforce why people like him and what he was doing right in his career, the better off he'll be. And like he's aware of that. That's why he's so successful in the first place, bro. Like there's a reason he hasn't fallen off fully, you know, after this album, for example. It's because he used it as fuel to just do better in the next attempt, you know. So big respect to him for that, for not like, you know, like folding, letting it get to him too much. Yeah, everybody take care. Please don't take this review too much to heart, but I would love to talk about it in the comments, honestly. So yeah, I'll leave you to it. Have a good rest of your week, everybody, and I'll try to do another walk through life episode as well. Either tomorrow or maybe Friday too, because I have more to say and I would like to do it almost like weekly too. So yeah, everybody take care. God bless. It's been real, and I'm out.